Hello again. This is the November-December update of the video diary, showing some of the changes that are going on in my part of the forest. At the beginning of November, we had our first named storm of the winter, Storm Aiden. One day, this tree was standing, albeit at a bit of an angle. Next day it was down, showing the world its roots. Other trees in this part of the forest also came down. We also had the first hard frost of the winter in early November. This speeded up the leaf fall from the trees. Those of you that watched the last video diary may remember that the pigs are let out in the forest to eat the acorns, which are poisonous to the ponies and donkeys. This is called the pannage. There was a huge acorn crop this year, so the pannage was extended, and the pigs could still be seen rooting away up until Christmas. This pig wanted to root around my foot. In early November, we entered a second COVID lockdown period, and once again, the pubs, hotels and restaurants bore the brunt of it, and they were forced to close. Continuing on the piggy theme, this is one of our local pubs, the Empress of Blandings, named in honour of the fictional pig created by P.G. Wodehouse. The pig's car park remained locked throughout November. Due to COVID, there were no public parades on Remembrance Sunday. Those who gave their lives were still remembered though, with memorials such as these poignant avenues of remembrance at our local village church. As the weather got colder, the ponies in paddocks wore their winter rugs. The ponies out in the forest grew thicker coats and cropped what grass was around until it stopped growing. They then had to rely on nourishment from the gorse bushes and leaves, including these prickly holly leaves. They seem to eat them with no trouble. Not sure how nutritious they are though. As the ponies in the New Forest can wander across the roads, the long dark evenings inevitably lead to more animals being killed on the roads. This is usually caused by speeding motorists, and the police launched a campaign asking people to allow just a little more time for their journeys. At the end of November, we came out of COVID lockdown, but not out of COVID regulations. The hospitality industry was able to reopen, but mixed households weren't allowed to meet indoors. No office parties and family meetups this year then. During the year, the New Forest Park Authority asked people to upload pictures of tree graffiti. At the end of the year, the results were published online. Who would have thought that acts of vandalism years ago would become a point of scientific interest in 2020? As well as the ponies and donkeys, you can also see sheep out on the forest in some places. Like the ponies, these sheep have grown their winter coats. The iconic Christmas decorations were also to be seen in the forest. Holly berries and mistletoe. Although with restricted household mixing, there won't be much kissing under this in 2020. As Christmas approached, more and more houses and villages lit up their Christmas lights. After a tough year, it seemed that more people entered into the spirit of it to brighten up the end of the year. On Boxing Day, the New Forest moved to COVID Tier 3, which meant that the long-suffering hospitality industry had to close its doors yet again. Winter wouldn't be winter without a decent rainbow and a decent sunset. So with those positive images, let's hope that we return to some semblance of normality in the very near future.